Welcome to the Be My Valentine challenge, hosted by the Flippin' Bunch. You've landed on the Tuesday Talk channel. In this challenge, we're flipping thrifted items, either from our stash or from the thrift store, and transforming it into a home decor item with a Valentine flair. Project 1. This is a little thing that I thrifted from a thrift store, and it actually was a consignment store, but it was 50% off after Christmas, so I got it for $5. So these little angels are all decked out for Christmas, so I'm going to kind of de-Christmasify them. I'm removing all the pine and all the little ribbons that say Christmas. After that, I used a heat gun to soften up the little buttons that were on there, or the glue rather, and I just peeled them off with a blade very carefully. I used a purpley gray color to paint the larger stars. I had considered removing the smaller stars and replacing them with hearts, but that was kind of too much work, so I'm just going over the stars with pink. Hey, hearts and stars can work for Valentine's Day too, right? The angel's little lace collars are being held up with some painter's tape. When they were all dry, I tucked them back in with the handle of the brush and gave everything a second coat. I used a color called French Villa to cover up the little holly and ivy that were on her sleeves. I'm going to be putting a transfer over these, and it doesn't really matter if it's a neat job or not, because I'm just going to be covering them up. I use transfers from the Saint Germain set. I cut them up into little pieces and I just add them and I keep layering them until I get the look that I want.
With you, everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good tonight. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. My wheels in motion. going crazy for you. I feel like the ocean. I can see you want this too. 'Cause you've been looking at me all night, trying to figure me out. I just wanna
I also add a few to the larger stars.
baby, you won't change. I only want you. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling.
Since this is a rustic piece with the wire, I used Doss wood clay to make some hearts with an IOD mold. This is the cameo mold. And I make some smaller hearts, and then I make a larger heart as well. The clay kind of stuck in the little ribbon of the larger heart, so I just got rid of the ribbon and just used the larger hearts on the larger stars.
I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love.
I used a color called Chantilly and did some dry brushing on the hearts after I had sanded the edges smooth. This clay is a lot like wood, so I can use the sandpaper and make it nice and smooth. I used E6000 glue to glue them onto the wood pieces. I had a lot of indecision knowing what ribbon to use, but I salvaged some of the ribbon pieces from the original one, and I used this wire with pearl. It's really rustic because it's kind of a rusty wire, but it's a little fancy with the pearls, and I just intertwined it in between the stars and the angels. I decided the larger hearts needed a few transfers as well. Again with the Chantilly paint, I dry brushed around the edges of the stars. Stay tuned to the end to see this project. Project number 2. I got these little ballet slippers. They're old Home Interiors, Homeco brand, for $1 at the flea market one time. So a little bit old. I am giving them a little cleanup before we begin, and I'm using the color soft pink, and I coat the entire piece. After that, I choose some paint inlays from the La Folie paint inlay set. I cut them apart. I'm undecided as to where they'll go, but I'm just getting some things that I think will work cut out for now. Once I decide, I add a second coat of paint in the areas where I'll be putting the paint inlays. I press the inlay down into the wet paint, making sure that the brighter, colorful side is down because that is the side with the paint on it. And then you want to take a mister with water and mist that paint inlay. Once you do that, you want to set it aside, making sure that you have good contact the whole way. I continue all over the slippers, making sure to add a second coat of paint that's fresh and good and wet underneath the areas where I want to do the paint inlays. After they're dry, I mist them again. You want to make sure that the paper is all wet so that when you peel it up, it doesn't tear and leave paper in your design. It is satisfying to peel away that paper and reveal that beautiful design. And remember, it is wet, live paint, so you want to be careful not to smudge it at this point. And if you do have any little accidents, you can take a brush and kind of smooth it out because, again, it is wet paint. While it's drying, I take my brush, using the French Villa color, and paint the inside of the shoes where it would be a little darker. I add the Chantilly color to the ribbons. I stepped outside for a minute while we're getting walloped with some snow and used 2X clear coat from Rust-Oleum. The reason you do this is because you want to set that paint. I don't want to smear it, so I'm going to, everything's dry, but now it's sealed, and I am misting my brush and using the French Villa color because there's little gathers on the sides of the shoes, and I want to bring that out. I'm using a baby wipe, so I'm just basically wet distressing, doing kind of a little wash over that so that I'll be able to bring out those details. Next, I use Titebond Quick and Thick and make a bead of glue around the edge of the shoes. I use a little strand of rhinestones, and I line the edge of the shoes. I think this is really going to add some extra dimension to this project. It takes a few minutes to really make sure I'm getting the glue so that it doesn't have any globs, and so I'm getting the rhinestones so they're not twisted and they're all showing the pretty side up. Again, I use the baby wipe to remove any excess glue and get everything just right. Make sure you're watching the entire playlist for this project. I can't wait to see everyone's flips. I think this step added a really cool extra touch. Again, I use the wood clay from DOS, and I make another heart, and I'm going to use that to embellish the top of the ribbon. I did an extra casting because I had a little extra clay and I didn't want to put it back in the package, so I'll save that for another project. I had some really pretty ribbon that had a little wire edge, so I used that, and I couldn't decide whether I wanted to do a bow or just have it hang down, so I landed on just making it hang down, and I trimmed the edge and did a dovetail on the edges of the ribbon. Using the Chantilly color, I did a dry brush on the heart. I positioned the heart at the top of the ribbon, and once I did that, I decided it was a little too plain, and I added the rhinestones around the interior edge of the heart as well. I also used the Chantilly color and painted the little bows that were on the tops of the toes of the shoes. This is such a really cute little girly project. It would be perfect for a little ballerina. I'm now putting my thrift flips on my website, www.statementdesigns.org, so you can shop all my flips there. Are you ready to see these projects all finished? pretty happy with both projects. Let me know what you think. I want to thank you so much for watching today. Please make sure to head over to Statement Designs and also to the Flippin' Bunch. And if you aren't subscribed, please do so. We would just love it. Hit the like, hit the share, all of those things help our channels grow. Find Statement Designs on the web at www.statementdesigns.org and on social media as Statement Designs. Stay well.